Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the FetchQuest podcast, where we talk about video games and more. I am your host, Guy, joined by my fellow co-host, Brewer,
Hey, everybody.
and Connor.
Hey guys, can you help me with something real quick? My computer's acting up.
What's wrong with it? It better not be acting up during recording. I mean, we're doing it right now.
Better not have been because you downloaded a random link, Connor. Last time that happened, you had to help a cat person escape certain death.
No.
All right, come on. What's wrong with it? What's wrong with it?
So this creepy figure is sitting on my screen and it's all covered in blood.
God damn it, Connor!
He says he's gonna give me a special treat. Guys, I'm really scared right now.
Brewer warned you, dude. Okay, I'm just gonna be honest. Whatever happens to you, totally deserved.
Ah! Oh.
Ooh. Oh, what?
He gave me some kind of pasta. It's kind of creepy looking.
Is that an eyeball meatball?
Yes. Yes it is, Brewer.
Well, you know what they say about creepy pasta. They're usually always a little disappointing in the end.
Yeah. I'm
Well,
gonna go
today's
check
topic,
it
we're going to be
out.
talking about video game creepypastas. What are they? Why are they intriguing? And why are they just a thing that refuses to die? All talked about today in today's topic. So, boys, creepypastas. It's spooky season. Ooh,
Yep, Halloween's coming up.
scary.
Ooh.
Spooky, scary skeletons.
Yes,
Shiver
Connor.
down your
Yes.
spine.
Yeah.
No,
I
but
think that thing that you said with them not dying though is very true because even if like they've evolved some, they're still always going to be here in spirit. That and like they're always going to be here with young writers trying to scare people in ways they think that are scary.
not real. Boys, I want to talk about some creepypastas with you today. Tell me, what's y'all's favorite thing about creepypastas before we get into this? Because there's a
Well,
lot of intriguing things to learn about them and just like I want to say gush over them.
before that, I feel like we should actually explain what a creepypasta is, in case
Pasta
anyone.
that's creepy, duh.
Oh, yes, obviously, but I'll quickly explain. So, essentially, what a creepypasta is it's a short online horror stories, like specifically just a short online horror story. Um, and a lot of the times, they can be original characters, but a lot of the times, especially in the realm of video games, they are um, they are taking characters that belong in other franchises. Sonic, Mario, Minecraft is a good example, and they are doing their very best to make them scary and frightening. And
Yeah,
that's
and the thing is that like people are intrigued with like the storytelling and the creepiness of like some of their favorite games, and
Yeah.
hence why a lot of these are very popular.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of just like urban legends but for video games, but you know what? It's a lot of fun.
yeah, it it's harmless fun. Like, I mean, there.
The most harm it does is like some poor random 9-year-old hearing the story and getting scared and not being able to sleep at night. But like that's probably the most harm they've ever really done.
Yeah, there. Yeah, at least video game creepypastas, but I think now we can move on to what you asked earlier, Guy.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
and I'll go first. I think my favorite aspects of video game creepypastas are how they the talent it takes to make some of them, because for a lot of these, especially some of the really good ones, a lot of the times they either have to severely mod the game that they're showing gameplay of, or just basically just create a whole other game from scratch, really. Like, cases that really come to mind are like NES Godzilla. Another good one being Ben Drowned. There's a lot of like game modding, or at least what I assume is game modding, in the later bits of the Ben Drowned creepypasta, even Sonic EXE to a point.
I mean,
Like,
Sonic EXE, I don't even know if I would classify that as like a mod. I'd more so like kind of a fan game.
yeah,
That is more of a
I mean
fan game, yeah.
that's what I brought up.
I mean, it
Is
kind of depends because there's been so many different fucking iterations of Sonic EXE that like if we tried to count all of them in this episode, it would probably be like a 10-hour video, and we still wouldn't get all of them. It's like holy shit, Sonic fans.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah, Sonic fans go crazy with that shit.
yeah, I mean that's why I said both mods and just creating new games and stuff like that, because that's why that's a part of like that I really like about these, because it's like if you have to really commit to that, because if you don't commit to that and you don't like if you don't make it like seem real, then not a lot of people are gonna fall for it. I think that's a reason why so many video game creepypastas like will freak you out and stuff like that, is because if they do a good job of like modding the game or just making something that looks a lot like the game, it can be very, very like you can get immersed to it and it feels real.
Well, I think too, you don't necessarily need to mod the game. I think you can just get really creative with like the tools you have available to you, because like a lot of really memorable creepypastas like don't even like have really any modding involved, at least to my knowledge. Like Hero Brian, Minecraft, that
Yeah.
spawned like loads of countless fan art, loads of theories, rumors, and stuff, and then even showed up in for my memory, like a bunch of Minecraft songs when I was a kid talking about Hero Brian, and then a lot of YouTuber intros. Like the Hero Brian is literally just Steve, but which is completely white pupils, like white eyes. That is it.
And evil.
Yeah, but they structured it so well in a way that like the story felt real enough, and it had a creepy element to it, like something being in the world where you're supposed to be alone but being with you. Like, okay, that grabbed your attention enough, and then the storytelling did the rest. That, and also like Lavender Town Syndrome, that's a very good one, since like at least to my knowledge of like the origins of that, there wasn't even like a fan game or a mod for that one. It was mostly someone thought that shit was kind of creepy, so they're like, okay, yeah, this made people commit suicide. That,
Yeah.
or
It's kind of
what one of my favorites is for a video game that never even existed. Have you guys ever heard of the Polybius story?
Yeah.
I have
You
not
have?
actually. Elaborate, please.
Okay, so it's very interesting because like it's such it's such like a high regarded legend among like arcade gaming and whatnot. Essentially, the story goes, and this is just a very brief version, and that like during a high part of the arcade fever, there was a game called Polybius that apparently would do some strange things to you. It was a very rare game because apparently there was only ever one of them, and it was just put in some like random bumfuck middle of nowhere town. But people would get addicted to it and like play it for hours and hours. But after they played it, they would suffer a lot of like headaches, nausea, vomiting, whatnot. And another part of the story too is that like about every week or month, there would be some men in black coats that would come and just like take something from the machine. So the legend goes that apparently like it was a game made by the government to do some sort of test on civilians on a small scale, and they would take data from that for their test. So now it like it spawns so much to where like people have even found like fake people have made fake Polybius cabinets, or even found some of them, because like again there was never an actual game. So like keep in mind, people would describe aspects of the game, but there would never be any actual gameplay to back it up. Any actual gameplay you see of Polybius is something that someone made because they got inspired by the story, which I think is just crazy to me. Because there's also commercial products named Polybius now.
Dude,
That's
it
actually
literally
insane.
it got so popular that it was a it's a I'm pretty sure in one of the Loki episodes there's a thing in the background of Polybius.
That's actually kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of other YouTubers like Scott the Woz who have made like entire episodes about it because it's just such an interesting tale. Like obviously it's fake with all the evidence that's pointing towards it, and like no one actually seeing a proper cabinet for it other than just some mock-ups. But it's just always a lot of fun. And again, there was no modding involved, or there was no game even made. People just made a really good fucking story that grabbed people's attention,
It's
which
a
I
good.
think that's kind of what the heart of creepypasta is.
Yeah, I feel like that's sort of what something you gotta do is you've gotta have some good storytelling, whether that be a good mystery or make it intriguing to the point where the audience is invested. Because yeah, at the end of the day, that's what at least in the beginning, that's what creepypastas were. They were people who were just trying to tell horror stories and do it in, unique ways. Like, um, I'm forgetting the name of it. It's not a video game creepypasta. Well, it's kind of related actually. It's do you know guys know I can't remember what it's called, but it has it's the creepypasta around that photo negative Mickey thing, that creepypasta.
Photo
Yes,
negative Mickey.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
I'm trying to remember. The only thing that came to mind when you were talking about some photo was like Jeff the Killer or something.
I know
I don't think
it's
that's the photo negative Mickey you're talking about.
I yeah, I'm
I know who you're talking about. I know who exactly what you're talking about.
yeah, but that one, like, I genuinely think that's like a really good creepy pasta, and it's actually like if you read the full story, it actually does get like a little like spooky, like not like shit your pants level scared, but the story builds this like environment and sense of like dread and tension that you like if you get invested in it, you know you get pretty spooked. And this that one story actually was so popular that a it became a very popular FNAF fan game called Five Nights at Treasure Island, and I've seen a bunch of videos on that, and it's actually looks pretty cool, at least the more modern version of it.
I'm not gonna lie,
It,
Connor, the way you worded that, it reminded me of the meme of the guy who sounds like Garfield saying, "Guys, if you actually watch Skibbity Toilet, it actually has like a really good story. Do you guys like good stories?"
Is that are you talking about sorry, you it sounded like a
Right?
moist
You know what I'm talking about though,
crinkle.
right? The guy, the guy who's
Yeah, I
defending
know.
Skibbity Toilets, he has good storytelling.
Was it? No, it wasn't Aaron Hansen. I remember he made a tweet saying like, "I hate to break it to you guys, but Skibbity Toilet's actually kind of good," and that's lived rent free in my mind for a while. But I think I know what you're talking about. But
yeah, Jesus. I think that's the real creepy part of this episode is us talking about Skibbity fucking toilet.
true.
Skibbity Toilet in and
But
of itself is like a copy pasta, unironically, because there are actually like some ARG like aspects to it, which is crazy. I don't know.
You know, I think that
That
is a
entire
good
series is weird.
segue to something that's not Skibbity toilet. I wanted to bring this up, but like of just how much influence I think creepypastas could have at least, and just like some of the horror games we have now, because video games have become like the tools to make them have become a lot more open source. There's a lot of guides online to make them. The tools are a lot more available to use, and I was just want to get into that a little bit because I think well, there's obviously I think like probably about like 80% maybe of the creepypastas you see online, especially from fucking 4chan, definitely aren't good. The good ones that we did mention that like have some staying power, like Ben Drowned,
yeah,
Hero Brian, Godzilla NES, a couple of others. I
Sonic.
think they've
3.
at least maybe helped influence some horror games.
Oh yeah,
Fair
100%.
enough. Oh
And
yeah, for sure.
I think
and
especially one element I want to look to is like with how like a lot of these horror games or creepy pastas. Sorry, misspoke there. You know how a lot of them are always talk about like, oh, this thing did this to my computer, or it's like, oh my god, it did like this thing, and like a creepy plushie from Sonic the Hedgehog showed up.
Tails doll.
Yeah, Sally doll, whichever that one fucking was. Again, there's too many Sonic EXE creepypastas. I can't remember every single one of them. Yeah, but I think there was like there's been a decent amount of like games, at least maybe on Steam, that like have had those elements of fourth wall breaking. Like biggest biggest one that almost everyone remembers, Doki Doki Literature
I knew
Club.
you were about to bring up Doki Doki as soon as you
I
said.
mean, I'm sorry, man, but like, dude, everyone knows it. It's like it's the easiest one to bring up.
That
Yeah,
is fair.
I'm not saying it's a bad example. I, I'm just saying, bro. We're connected. Our brain waves are in sync.
Yes, you're my persona, Connor.
Cut to this is the part where I say, y'all literally have the same fucking brain cell. I remember we did an episode a few months ago where I pointed this out, and I pointed out that y'all had literally the exact same fucking build in Elden Ring. Okay,
Yeah,
3 for 3. I swear to God, y'all are the same person.
Connor, say the I am thou part. You are my persona now.
I am thou, thou art I. I can't remember the rest of the speech, but now,
We shall make a funny podcast recording. There we go.
yeah,
Perfect.
this is great.
Go cast Myriad Truths.
It's,
Go break the game. You're my DLC persona.
yay! This is some great lore for the FetchQuest lore scholars.
Yes,
Real.
Connor is now my persona.
All right, but to get back on topic,
Oh yeah.
I kind of wanted to talk about how like I guess the impact they had on us when we like if you guys ever experienced them. I feel like at least
Oh yeah.
we heard of it in passing, if not directly interacting with it.
Oh
But
yeah, no, dude. The amount of times I've tried to summon Herobrine into my game is insane, and like the amount of disappointment I would get when Herobrine would not appear if I put like the Netherite totem with the Steve heads all around,
yeah,
dude. I was so sad because like I remember watching videos on like the like people making Herobrine mods and like making doing a copy pasta like thing out of it. Like the idea is that it was supposed to be a mod showcase video, but it's trying to like tell a story saying, guys, I've heard if I do this, then I can get like really powerful and strong and activate some new buffs in Minecraft. And then like they have to run away and like hide from like Herobrine and shit like that, which is just like another player. But
I just had
it
a
like
thought. Random thought.
yeah.
What's more disappointing? Not trying to summon Herobrine and it not working, or putting water in glowstone and not unlocking a new dimension in Minecraft.
Real,
probably,
dude. Oh my god.
dude, I just find it so funny because like I just have the thought of like Herobrine seeing you summon him and he's like, nah, fuck that guy. He's broke as shit. I ain't fucking haunting him. He's not gonna get me like 50,000 views on YouTube.
Dude, it's so sad because I this was before I knew what modding was exactly, so I was like, wait, why isn't it working? Is my game broken? And then like like there was a part of me that was also relieved too because it scared the absolute shit out of me. The idea of like this cracked ass Steve who could just destroy me like in an instant and who will constantly haunt me down. Like that's scary as shit.
Honestly, I don't blame you because I was a pretty fucking stupid kid as well. Because I didn't really understand what modding was at a time too. So like, old Pokemon games were like easier to mod than like the new ones that were coming out at a time when I was a kid. So like, I always saw mods for like I think like Gen 3, like Pokemon Emerald, and all that stuff, where like people had Reshiram and Zekrom. I was like, holy shit! How did the games from back then have the Pokemon now? But
Yeah,
then also stupid mods too, were like some of the popular ones like Buried Alive. I'm like, man, Gen 3 is crazy. It has all this wild stuff in it.
yeah. I
Yeah.
I remember I had two very clear like experiences that clearly stick out in my head of creepypastas when I was a kid. Um One of them being I remember I was playing in a multiplayer Minecraft world with a few of my friends and they started talking about like Hero Brian and stuff like that. And I was like, what's Herobrine? And they started like discussing in detail of like this like dead, like the lore of like how he was Herobrine's supposed to be Notch's dead brother, and how he'll kill anyone who like summons him. And I was like freaked out and stuff like that. And for that entire server, I was just so paranoid that Herobrine was like behind the corner and gonna kill me or something.
Dude, on the playground, there was always that like one kid that could somehow pull like 50 pages of Herobrine lore out of his ass out of nowhere. I'm like, how the fuck do you know all this?
Yeah, and then the second time was, and this one always sticks out in my head. Of like, I think it was my first experience with like an actual creepypasta. It was a YouTube video. It was one of those like I literally think it was one of those chilled videos. You know, the like Burger King foot lettuce guy, and he was going over. I think it was an old video. I think of him. I think it was him, and he was going over like scary creepypastas, and he talked about the Sonic Adventure creepypasta. I think it's called Sonic Adventure Dead X, where Big the Cat like kills the person who plays it. And back then, I was terrified of it because again, I had no idea what was going on, but I was like, someone died. That's scary.
Dude, if Big the Cat was
No, I
trying to
feel
kill me,
that.
I don't even know how I would respond because like he's just like such a non-threat and looks like such a non-threat that like he could have like a knife and an AK and I still would not take him seriously.
Yeah, well, because I mean, even as a kid, I barely had any idea who any of the Sonic characters were besides Sonic and Tails. And so, and I'm pretty sure in that video, like, he goes into, like, gruesome detail of how Big, like, killed the guy, which I won't repeat here for sake of monetization. But, you know, back then, I was, like, terrified of it. But nowadays, it's like, it's like I know who Big the Cat is. He's the guy who goes Froggy.
Dude, Sonic creepypastas be so funny because like you have just like the goofiest or some of the dumbest characters ever made, and then like you look into the creepypasta, they give them bloody eyes and then want you to take it seriously when Sonic is like, I have your soul, I will devour you, and then slowly chase after you while creepy music plays.
And then the background's on fire
Yeah,
because
backgrounds on fire. That's always a good touch.
yeah, I ironically love Sonic EXE. I think it's so funny because if you really think about it, Sonic EXE is kind of just like an M-rated Metal Sonic. He's evil Sonic. He has red eyes, and this is apparently in the lore is that he hates being like Sonic's faker, and that's just Metal Sonic, except he's like kills people with blood and stuff like that. I don't know.
I cannot
Connor,
believe
try
we
not
got
to mention
into
Sonic in
Sonic
every
EXE
episode
lore.
challenge. Impossible.
We were literally talking about Sonic EXE. That one does not count. Fuck you.
We were talking about Sonic EXE, not his lore.
I don't know the lore.
You literally just talked about his lore.
I don't know if
You
that's
quote for
right.
quote said the word lore.
I
Guy, am I right?
you 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 were comparing the lore of like evil like the EXE Sonic to fucking Metal Sonic, which I think
Yeah,
is just
so something
funny.
about the lore of like not wanting to be his faker or something, which I don't even know if you were referring to Metal Sonic or Sonic with ketchup in his eyes.
I I listen. Okay, let me re-explain. That is 100% what Metal Sonic is. He hates being Sonic's fake because he sees himself as the real Sonic. But
I'm
uh,
sorry I couldn't tell the difference with with how many Sonic characters there are and Sonic fans writing. I would not be surprised if that was Sonic
But
EXE's
Sonic games
backstory.
are pretty much like, oh, here's base Sonic, here's Sonic but black, here's Sonic but metal. Oh, here's yellow Sonic. Oh, here's a red Sonic, but he can glide. Ooh, here's a Sonic who can glide. Pretty much the Sonic lore.
Here's a Sonic that's Silver. His name is Silver, and he's also in a very glitchy game. Don't play it.
fuck you guys.
We love you, Connor. But no, no,
Here's
no.
the
Like,
real
I get what you mean,
creepypasta
though. Like,
tonight. Will Connor kill us?
Yes, well, I can't kill you because you're my uh I'm your persona. so I can't kill you, but I can gladly use myriad truths on Guy.
Ew. But no, I get what you're saying though, like with the lore and whatnot. Like a lot of these are like, don't get me wrong, they're pretty cringe, and like a good amount of the time they're also just like trying to be like an attention grabber off some sort of popular media. But
Well,
some
that
of
and
them,
they're
like Sonic
also probably written
EXE,
by like 13-year-olds.
yeah,
Yeah,
but I love the attempt of making like lore and whatnot for them. Like even though they're not canon and they never will be, I just love like the explanations for everything, and it's just like I don't know, it adds a bit to the like creepy factor of them. Like the ones that are the most memorable are the ones that are more detailed with explanation and effect. I would say.
I'd say there's a few examples of like where that's the exception. Like I think Herobrine's a decent example. I have seen so much Herobrine content over the years, and not a and very, very rarely are they like actually consistent. But I think the
Well,
fact that there's so little like there's so little like set rules on Herobrine makes him that's
but I
one.
think it's kind of like the sort of like the back rooms, because like there was an original concept that was like pretty simple, because Herobrine was kind of just like in your world. You never really saw him other than at glances. It was a Steve that literally just had his eyes whited out, and also there would be some strange structures he would build in your world. So like, ooh, creepy. But then I remember there was like songs where like God, fucking either Captain Sparkles or something for singing about like, oh my God, the hero Brian is back. He had a cloak on for some reason. And he was fighting fucking Skeleton King, dude. I don't even fucking know.
Yeah.
What the fuck is hero Brian lore? Other than
Well,
just whatever you make
Based.
of it.
and that's why I think Herobrine, like, I think that's why he's still like kind of popular today, is because you know because there's so little as a base, you can do whatever the hell you want with him.
It would have
Unlike
been funny if Sakurai like if they were like short on time for adding him in Smash, just whited out Steve's eyes and are like, all right guys, there's alt number 8, let's go.
Herobrine, yeah, um, like I mean, there's that's kind of why like you don't see stuff like Lavender Town Syndrome and Ben Drowned as much anymore because those, at least with Ben Drowned's case, like that was a complete story and stuff like that, and because it was like so defined and stuff like that, that's why
It doesn't leave as much to the
yeah, there's not
imagination.
enough interpretation to it. It's pretty set in stone. But with like Sonic EXE and Herobrine, because there's so little as the base, you can do so much with it. But I think, do we have any? I feel like we're getting close to that time of the video.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
I think
we are.
we're at a bit of a good closing point.
Yeah,
So,
of course.
who wants to go?
I'll go first since I probably have the least amount of thoughts. I will say this: creepypastas are really fun, and I think they're just a really cool creative outlet for people to like use media to like creep people out. Like I am a writer, so I love like seeing people's interpretations of stuff and like try to explain it. Hence why I think Sonic EXE is really fun. Same with Hero Brian. I mean, fuck, Hero Brian worked on me. And there's some we didn't even mention, like Slender Man. Oh my god, like there's so many, but I just think they're really fun. They do a good job of creeping you out, and I think it's just like it's an ode to how creative gamers can be when it comes to like the stuff they play. You know what I mean? I really enjoy it for that
Yeah,
reason.
yeah, yeah. I guess I'll go next. I have some similar points to you because like in general with creepypastas, like I said, I think like 80% of them are kind of just like not very good and cringy. Like 20% are maybe good or like worth looking into. But like I think that's the thing though. Like a lot of these are being written by like young writers who just like they have their favorite games and they want to like put a fun spooky twist in it because like to write something good, to write like a masterpiece, you gotta put out a couple turds. I mean, not just for writing, but just like for anything, for even just regular skills too. You need to practice it and occasionally put out a couple turds before you can get your golden egg. So I think they've been really good in that sense. But that and also just like I think they've been good for like video game communities in general as well. Like yeah, obviously a lot of it's all just it's made up or just loosely based off like, oh, this one little glitch. Damn, that's actually kind of creepy. Let's make 20 pages of lore about it. But I think
Exactly.
I think sometimes if you just have fun with it, it's nice in that sense. Like, dang, the community got together to make 50 pages of Herobrine lore. That's kind of crazy. That and I also just like seeing them as a creative outlet as well, especially once you get involved into like, oh, they're modding the game and shit to make you see all these crazy visual effects. It's just nice. It's nice.
Exactly.
Yeah, I definitely agree, but I guess it's my turn now. So I have really been. I have a very big interest in creepypastas. I do 100% agree with Brewer when I say I also think like only around 15 to 20% of them are actually good, but I know a lot about them, probably more than definitely more than I should, and I have had a lot of experience and stuff with that, and I think at least out of all of us, I'm probably the most experienced when it comes to that stuff. But in general, I just really think I think they're such a cool concept, and I think they were the stepping off point of internet horror and stuff like that, and stuff we see nowadays with like big ARGs, stuff like like uh analog horror. I think definitely took some inspiration from like early inspiration from those creepypastas and stuff like that. And I think it's just creepypastas especially were both a big part in not only my childhood but also just early internet when, a lot of people knew a lot less. And I just think they're really cool. And I think they're interesting to talk about and interesting to learn about. And that's about it.
Yeah, yeah, it's nice.
Hell yeah.
All right, and I think there's one more thing I want to say before we end this video, guys. If you've enjoyed this video and we can get to let's say 10 likes, us three in the recording right now will all try to write our own creepy pastas and we will show them to you in a video.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah, y'all are not ready for mine.
Yeah. So if you want to see some terribly written, well, maybe for me, I don't know about Connor and Guy since they're actually writers. But if you want to see maybe some good creepy pastas, but also probably a really shit one, make sure to smash that like button. Run into it like you're running away from drowning Ben.
No, not Drowning Ben.
That's my creepy pasta. It's not Ben drowned. It's drowning Ben. Original character. Do not steal.
True.
Oh yeah, but if you
It's
like this kind of
just
content, guys, please hit that like and subscribe button. All support is welcome. Please comment down below what your favorite creepypasta is, and guys, with that being said, thank you so much for watching today's episode. We've been FetchQuest, and happy Halloween!
Woo!
Woo!
Bye, everybody.
Bye bye.